So clearly, once again, color coded. The green come from DraftKings, the blue come from FanDuel.
That's right.
So Dominic, start at the top. This is you right here.
Yeah, these are me. I had 3 money line plays this week. Noah left me hanging. Didn't have one single
I
money
know.
line this
I
week.
know.
Guys, I just want to preface UFC London Part 1 in March was, I believe, my best personal betting weekend of the year thus far. If I'm not mistaken, it's definitely up there if it's not. So I'm hoping to carry that momentum in. And the guy at the top of the marquee is the same main eventer as well. But it starts with Mr. Paul Craig because he also fought on the first UFC London card. And he was a plus 160, I believe, at that
Yeah, I
time.
think it was
Uh,
160.
I've never clinched my asshole more trying to get a bet to cash than that one, but he clinches a win from the depths of defeat, pulls off the triangle choke in the first round against Nikita Krylov, also on this card. I love all the repeaters on here. And now you're giving me plus odds again? Because if you go back and watch at the time, nosebleeds for UFC London Part 1, I said the same thing. You're giving me plus odds on Paul Craig, who's on a 6-fight unbeaten streak, 5 of those via or all of his wins via stoppage, but 5 of them are wins. And he's going up against Volkan Oezdemir, who I get it has the power to put Craig down. I realize that. I get that it's part of the risk. But it's momentum here for me, and Volkan has not looked like the Volkan of the title rise that he had when he fought DC in 2018. So for that reason alone, if you're in Paul Craig's realm, and even if you're not starting there, he will bring you there if he wants you there. He's going to win this fight if it's on the ground against Volkan. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts. So yes, am I banking on Paul Craig to get it down to the ground? I am. But I believe in him because he's done it 5 times in a row, and I think he's going to do it again here. Plus 135. That'd be a big start to the bet slip here. We move in to minus 105, Mr. Chris Curtis. Me and Noah both rode with him against Rodolfo Vieira, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I
So,
jump ship.
yeah, I think he was minus 135 in that. He closes here at minus 105. We talked about the odds earlier in the show. Again, I just feel like when we were breaking down the fight, when you really analyze it and where it's going to take place, if Hermanson cannot get this fight on the ground, which Chris Curtis has proven, again, 26 of 26 in the UFC with takedown defense, it shouldn't be a problem for him to keep it on the feet. And if it stays on the feet, I just think his striking is a little bit more ahead of Jack Hermanson to get him definitely to a decision win, but I could see a stoppage in this fight on Chris Curtis' side as well with a knockout. The dude's got 16 of them in his career, but he's not afraid to go the distance as well. So I love that play there. And then the third and final money line play, again, it cashed at UFC London in March. I'm banking on it to cash again. Minus 130, Tom Aspinall. I couldn't get him at plus odds this time around, but pretty close to plus odds, so I'll take it. Listen, guys, this is a sick fight. I love everything about it. It checks all the boxes for me as a fan. I'm more Aspinall. I understand that. But again, regardless of how much I like a fighter, I don't place money on them unless I truly believe they can win. And I believe that Aspinall is the more well-rounded guy. As Noah said when we broke this fight down, on the feet, he's quicker, he's more technical, carries just as much power as Curtis Blaydes to put someone down. And if it gets to the ground, I'm very intrigued to see how he can do against Curtis Blaydes, because Blaydes has shown no weaknesses with his top pressure. His ground and pound is second to none. Aspinall, a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I know it's not always the answer to a top-heavy wrestler, but I do believe that if it does get there, he can get back up, or he may just keep it from getting there in the first place with some takedown defense. So I'm very excited to see how it plays out. I'm willing to take a chance on Tom Aspinall because I believe, and ever since day one I've believed, that he is the future and a future title holder. Those are the money line plays.
Oh, Dom, always so eloquent with his betting picks. I apologize. I will be much faster here. Craig Oezdemir does not start round 3. 1.52 units at minus 152. Yeah, I mean, are you telling me that's?
I mean, you just said it, right?
You telling me that's not smart pick right there? I mean, come on. Herbert Nelson does not start round 3. Me and Dom both teaming up for this one. I actually kind of piggybacked Dom when he sent this to me. I was like, oh, that one sounds pretty good. Minus 138, so 2.38 units in total. 1.38 of that, of course, being mine. Jai Herbert and Kyle Nelson both have had tough runs in the UFC, but both probably better than their records suggest. Especially Jai Herbert for me. I think he's just had a tough draw. Yeah. 1-3. He looked really good early against Tuporia. He had a big reach advantage against Tuporia, and that kind of gave him fits for a while until Tuporia sent him to the land of wind and ghost. Here he has a 6-inch reach advantage over Kyle Nelson, but Kyle Nelson does have more of a well-rounded game. Does not start round 3. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I love it.
Nikita Krylov and Alexander Gustafsson under 2.5 rounds. I don't know what's going to happen in this fight, but I don't think it's going to a decision. I think someone's going to come in here looking rejuvenated, revitalized, whatever it might be. It's minus 126. Again, this is a tough card for me, to be honest. Like, I really didn't love this card from a betting perspective. I'm kind of hanging myself out to dry. A lot of minus money for me here. I tried to even that out with the parlay later, but it's just, I like to make it a little more of a balance with the plus and minus money, because if a couple of these don't hit, I mean, I'm really working from behind. So
yeah, very much.
They're risky, but you know, you just got to go with the smart plays here. And Krylov, Gustafsson under 2.5 rounds. I mean, it just seems like a very reasonable pick for guys that just aren't known for going to distance.
Right, exactly. So I'm going with another under. I'm going back to the main event. Curtis Blaydes, Tom Aspinall, under 3.5 rounds at minus 175. I think that's great value. I really do, because Tom Aspinall has never went to a decision ever in his career. He's had 14 professional fights. But for Curtis Blaydes, contrary to popular belief, guys, he does have 11 KO TKOs, and he's been finished 3 times by knockout. So out of 19 fights, he's went the distance, I think, maybe 4 or 5 times. 5 times, yeah, that's the math. 5 times he's went the distance ever. And I do think that, again, should Tom Aspinall lose, I think it's because Curtis Blaydes is going to look really good, which means I think he looks really good on the top, which means he's raining down ground and pound. And I think he can actually get Tom Aspinall out of there via finish. And it 3.5 bleeds into the 4th, which I feel comfortable. That gives me quite a bit of time. Blaydes, this is going to be his 6th main event, so he's had 5 prior. Only one has went the distance, and it was with Alexander Volkov that went the full 5 rounds. So I like that one there to end early. And should Tom Aspinall lose, hopefully make up a little bit more ground so I don't go completely in the hole with a unit. And the final single play, Krylov Gustafsson inside the distance. I didn't get as ballsy as Noah. I wanted the extra 2.5 minutes, I guess. To be fair, I guess I just didn't really see the other play. But we both think it's not going the distance. Krylov's went the distance 3 times in 36 fights. Gustafsson's went the distance 6 times in over 25 fights. So someone's going to get finished. I don't think the loser's going to look not great, meaning the winner should make it look relatively easy.
Well said. Parlays. We got 4 of them. I'm going to go ahead and do my 2, and then we'll end with your 2. So the big one for me, the moneyline parlay, Paddy Pimblett and Tom Aspinall. I could have done Tom moneyline as like a single, but again, I wanted some plus money on here. These are 2 guys I'm very confident in on this card, even though, again, Curtis Blaydes is a real threat. He is, and he should not be overlooked in this matchup. But I feel like Tom Aspinall's time is here. I believe I was late to the party, but I firmly believe this guy is a title challenger in the making, and I think a win over Curtis Blaydes is going to be the thing that really shoots him into that title conversation, if he's not already. Paddy Pimblett, again, I think Jordan Levitt's a very proper opponent for 3rd fight in UFC, coming off the wins he's had. But I also think Paddy Pimblett's just a more well-rounded fighter, might even be better at what the Monkey King excels at. No twerking will be done in the cage unless Paddy decides to steal his finishing move. I don't know.
He could do that.
That's plus 149, so I do get some plus money there. So I'm hoping, parlays though, they're dicey, but the last one, this one I got a little quirky for this one. 1.39 units at minus 139. I did Muhammad Mokaev money line and Nathaniel Wood money line as the first 2 legs. Again, 2 guys that I highly favor to win their fights. I will say Mokaev's opponent is a sneaky guy. Charles Johnson, I believe is his name. He was an LFA mainstay. Actually has a decision loss to Raw Dog Royval, so shout out to him. But a guy who's on a great win streak, has fought good competition for regional cards, all LFA. But I do think Mokaev is the future of the flyweight division. I think that dude's just so talented. I think he gets it done. Nathaniel Wood is taking on Charles Rosa.
Yes.
Charles Rosa is 5-7 in the UFC. He's never really out of a fight.
Yeah.
But it's not been pretty as of late for him. He's been kind of used as a stepping stone for a lot of these guys that are looking to really put on a good showing before maybe a top 15. Bryce Mitchell kind of tossed him around at UFC 249. Nathaniel Wood, I do think, is a guy that's very talented striker. He's just very good fighter. And I do think that a win over Charles Rosa could open some eyes to maybe and open some doors for him that otherwise people have sort of been kind of sleeping on his name. And I think he's kind of deserving of some hype in this European scene that's on the come up right now. In the last leg, well, I guess I do have action on this fight, and that's because Molly McCann, Hannah Goldie, I have over 1.5 rounds. I literally wanted a third leg on this one to make it worth my time, and I said, what fight would I bank on going over a round and a half? And this was the fight I saw, and I was like, I think that one surely goes over a round and a half. Obviously, Molly McCann showing some signs of some real knockout power. Hannah Goldie, surely only 2 finishes in 8 fights, but Molly McCann also 10 decisions in 16 fights, I think I said. So not a high finishing rate for either woman. But over 1.5 rounds. You can still get a finish, but pretty sure Molly got her knockout like late in the round 2 against Luana.
It was late round 3. It ruined my parlay.
That's right, late round 3. So I think it's pretty solid. -139. Book it.
I like that a lot. And finishing it off with 2 money line parlays. I really like this method for me. It's been more successful than me trying 3 and 4 leggers. So the first one, I'll go with the better odds first. So -139, Muhammad Mohayev. Much of the same to what Noah said. I do believe this guy is the future of the flyweight division. Sneaky underdog play if you want to get risky for Charles Johnson. It really is. But I think Muhammad's going to show that there are levels to this game in the debut for Charles Johnson in the UFC. And of course, Patty the Batty Pimblett. I think it's going to be a pretty cool fight. I really hope we get to see Patty on the ground. But I do believe, again, the more well-rounded fighter, better everywhere. If it stays on the feet, I think he gets it done pretty quickly and pretty easily. Dare I say the easiest UFC fight that he's had thus far. Again, if
that's a big. I mean,
if it stays on the feet.
I guess in a way it's not like a big if because he's nearly been finished in both fights.
So true. Just don't get rocked, and it's the easiest.
But it is ballsy to say that because it is his toughest fight.
Yeah. If it goes to the ground, different story.
I like that though, Dom, because it's really not that ballsy when you consider he got rocked both times. Yeah. But I like it.
He gets it. And then the last one to finish off the bet slip, -147, Mark Casey. Interesting career, interesting guy, super athletic, freak specimen physically, but he's never quite put all the pieces together. Yeah. But he sure the hell did at UFC Columbus. When he destroyed Slava Claus right in front of me, I saw a bet wither away from the bet slip, slowly but surely. I had Slava Claus by finish in that fight.
I got to tell the viewers the story about
Please do. You were right next to me.
Well, this is true. And also, just to be clear, Dominic, I remember, had the hardest time pronouncing his last name for a long time.
Yeah, I did.
Which is, how do you pronounce it, Dom?
It's Jacasey. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I was going to put you on the spot because I thought you kept calling him Mark, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker still doesn't know how to say his last name. I think one time he was talking about him. He's like, Mark Diakisi, and I was like, huh? Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
But Mark Jacasey, yes. The story is, not only did that ruin Dom's bet of Slava Claus by finish, but Dominic was so... He was playing Call of Duty the night before.
Oh, dude, yes!
And then some guy in the chat, and Dominic never chats. He's never,
I kind of just do my thing.
He keeps to himself. But this guy gets on there and goes, who has a sport bet? Like, hit me up with a sport bet. So Dominic gets on the mic and says...
I said it really. I went, Vyacheslav Borshlev by decision. He goes, what? What?
You were like trying to say, it's oh my God, now I can't think of the name that you, Kennedy and Chekawani. So you're just like rapid fire getting those names out.
Yeah.
But you say it, that guy's like, who the fuck are you talking about? Bets it because Dominic is so persistent. He's like, no, go to DraftKings.
Yeah.
It's
It's plus money.
It's Borshchev. Yeah, that one. By finish. Not just a win. By finish. And then it was like 30-26 across the board.
He got destroyed. Yeah. So that alone, I'm betting Mark Jacasey. But seriously, I think he's the more well-rounded fighter. Again, after what I saw in that one, coming into this against Damir Hadzovic, Damir has not showed me much. 3-3 in the UFC. I just think Mark's better everywhere. The younger guy, the higher potential. I think he gets it done. And Mason Jones, the other Welshman, you got him and you got Jack Swart leading the charge. Hopefully they don't go 0-2 back-to-back for the country's sake and for the bet slip's sake. I really do believe in Mason Jones, even though he's had a weird UFC career. 1-1 with 1 no contest. His lone win was against David Onama, funny enough. But he's going
a great fight.
It was a sick fight. He's going up against Ludovic Klein here. Ludovic's a good kickboxer, which makes me a little nervous because Mason Jones can get hit. But Mason Jones, the all-around better fighter, I think he has a very high ceiling. I believe in this kid. It is a up a weight class. It's kind of a short notice type deal here. Mason's going to be significantly bigger in this fight. I think he really puts together a performance in front of the UK crowd and gets it done. That's the bet slip.
Wow. What a moment.
A lot of plays this week. This is
a lot of play, and I mean, you're really doing the heavy lifting. I think you have 7 to my 5. I've always told myself, as long as you get 5 plays, like, you're good.
Yeah.
But it was a struggle to get the 5 this week. I'm being honest.
But you don't feel like you forced anything at the end of the day.
No, I didn't. Even though that one parlay is a Frankenstein's monster, like I am confident in it.
Yeah.
It's just like I usually. I'm kind of weird with my parlays. I kind of like them to be pretty. I like them to be all money line or all over-unders or whatever. Yeah. So when I get
and 3 legs get scary.
3 legs, again, it's a little out of my comfort zone, but I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Inevitably, you know, Charles Johnson's going to like one-punch KO Mahayev, but, you know, it is what it is. But I personally did not love this card for betting. Obviously, I think we kind of flipped roles from last week. Last week you were very...
Yeah, I only had 4 plays last week.
You didn't love Long Island. Yeah. I was like loving it.
Yeah.
Here we're like flipped. So it's kind of good though that one of us feels very good about the card as a whole. Good vibes only around here.
Damn right.
Now let's end.